Mendel Ben, I don't remember. Do you know the name? Your grandfather? Okay, so let's continue. I want to respond to today's WhatsApp Wednesdays. I had a tremendous amount of people responded, and I didn't have an opportunity to actually go through it at all. The question was basically the following: if a principal wants to demonstrate how wonderful his students are, therefore, if you were to leave a wallet outside the back doors, he's certain that none of the children would take it, and he wants to demonstrate how wonderful the students are, how honest they are, they return stolen objects, they would never take anything for themselves. Is he allowed to do it, or is this going to be problematic, as many people actually mentioned, because are you transgressing what's called lifnei iver lo titen michshol? Is it putting a stumbling block in front of the blind? You're tempting them, and can you do such a thing? So this is actually based on a Gemara in Kiddushin. The Gemara in Kiddushin has a case on folio 32a, where a gentleman named of Rabba Bar Huna tore the clothing, tore his son's clothing. And he said, I want to see if he gets angry or will he not get angry, right? He wants to see, is his son a kasan? He wants to test him. You know, this way, how important kibbutz avim is, you shouldn't get angry at your father, even if you tear your clothes, right? Even if he does your clothes. The Gemara says, how can you do this? If he could have gotten angry, what about lifnei iver lo titen michshol? Is it considered putting a stumbling block before the blind? The Gemara says, no. Machole, that Rav Huna waived his honor. He says, even though I'm the father, I could be mocha my kavod. Therefore, I wasn't testing him, because if he got angry at me, it wouldn't have counted as an avera, because I would have absolved him from it. What about bal tashchis? You're destroying clothing. How can you destroy clothing? The answer is he tore it on the seams, in which case it was easy to stitch up. Something which in the modern world seems very foreign to us, but in those days that's what they used to do when they ripped their clothing. And so the Tosafot here says, not only, but it's not sufficient. Why? Because even if the father would have been mocha on his kavod, he would have absolved his son. He would have said, no, I'm not accountable at all. It doesn't bother me if he gets angry at me. His son didn't know that. In which case, if he would have gotten angry at his father, it still would have been an issue. So Tosafot says that the father needed to tell his son ahead of time, oh, by the way, I'm playing mocha on my kavod. If not for that, it would in fact would have been problematic. The Ritva disagrees and says, what are you talking about? He doesn't need to know him, doesn't need to identify, doesn't need to tell him. Since the Sefer Mishpatei Torah brings down this case, and he brings both sides of the argument. Tosafot, who says the son needs to know in advance, Ritva says, at traditional purposes, you don't need to know. Is an argument between the Rishonim, and since we're dealing with a biblical prohibition of lifnei iver, or for probably in this case, we're thinking about kibbutz avim, but maybe the case of lifnei iver when it comes to leaving money out for students, it would be problematic to do, because maybe you're setting them up to fail, and to put someone in a situation as something which might be considered inappropriate. So the answer to the question is that it's an argument between perhaps the different opinions, and therefore perhaps we should be strict because we're dealing with a biblical prohibition. That's the answer to today's WhatsApp Wednesday.